Broads Media.
Ew! 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 This team is gross. You know what else is gross? I don't know. Bad transition. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up button as well. I greatly appreciate all of your support. If you do want to take me on the road with you as you're driving to work or driving home from work, you can go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, all your podcasting platforms. And if you leave a 5-star rating and a review, it would mean the absolute world to me. I love you guys all to death. It really helps push the algorithms, and we're close to 200 ratings on Apple Podcasts, so I can't thank you guys all enough. And if you want more Broads Media content, you can join the memberships here on YouTube, and you get access to our Discord channel, and you also get access to our live streams every Monday and Thursday morning at 11 a.m. It gets published, by the way, so you can watch when we're no longer live, but it's Coffee with Broads, all right? And you get to have your coffee, you get to sit back, relax with me, and it's been a lot of fun. Can't thank you all enough for the crazy support. All the information is down below, and enjoy the show. Oh my God! Nick Castellanos with another double. Dude's turning it on. Clutch as hell. I don't know how they win games. It makes no sense. A billion, and I mean a billion ground ball outs when Christopher Sanchez is throwing, and you got it swallowed up on the left side of that infield, having some strong defense, which we haven't had in years. I'm watching Bohm, who doesn't hit for power, let's be honest, in a clutch situation where the offense was completely dead and there was no life whatsoever. He hits his 6th of the year to tie the game up 1-1 when they desperately needed it. I thought we were all going to sit back here on the postgame show and rip apart Rob Thompson for pinch hitting for Dahl, your hottest hitter, who smoked one off the center field wall for a double earlier in the game. That was about in the 2nd inning. The guy's been on a tear, so why are you taking him out of the game? I don't give a damn that there's a lefty on the mound. When Pache is your option, I'll go down swinging with Dahl. And I thought that was going to be seriously the talking point, but no. Matt Strom in the 9th. He doesn't just have beautiful hair. This guy has beautiful stuff. He gets out of a pickle. Sir Anthony Dominguez in the 10th. All right, great defense. Stott to JT. I thought I was watching the National Football League. I thought that was Polamalu in his prime, taking off JT's head at the plate. And after he already got hit by a pitch and he already got hit in the testicles, his manhood was gone. Guy was getting beaten up, and Nick Postgame even acknowledged how inspirational it is to have a tough guy like JT being one of the leaders of this club, and the way that he just needs 5 seconds to shake it off. All right, everybody knows that feeling when your nutsack is hanging in your stomach and you gotta take a breather. This dude goes, all right, and here we go. Let's go. Hey, yeah, let's go. Fastball outside. Fastball outside? You just lost your nuts. You just lost your balls. What do you mean fastball outside, you sicko? Unreal. This team's unreal. They just win. By the way, Matt Strom with Reese coming up in the 9th. Boo! Boo! Got him looking, baby! On the inside part of the plate. No home run for you today, Reese. Not happening. There's no way in hell I would have been able to accept Reese coming up to the dish and getting the big-time win. Unacceptable. Almost as unacceptable as when McGill was on the bump in the 9th for the Brewers, and you watch some pretty hideous at-bats from some top-tier guys in your order. Kyle Schwarber. Boom. JT. JT had a swing there. It was an off-speed pitch that I believe hit the dirt 16 feet prior to the plate, and he took a monster hack. I guess that's what happens. So when you got one of those power arms and someone who's as tall as Joel Embiid throwing triple digits, you got to start swinging and guessing prior to the ball even leaving his hands and just hoping that you get it right. But yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it that there are some guys in this lineup that aren't putting together their best at-bats, notably Kyle Schwarber, essentially because it's June, and that's what we wait for. The second the calendar flips to June 1st, this fan base irrationally gets ready for a power surge. So for him to look the way that he's looking right now, it is what it is, but it's Kyle Schwarber. I mean, they keep winning games. What do you want me to do? Sit here and bitch? Sit here and act as if he doesn't know what he's doing? It'll happen. He'll get there, right? If Nick Castellanos can get on a little ride and get on a little run, I promise you that there's going to be a Kyle Schwarber moonshot fest that's not too far away from us. It's right around the corner. Just breathe. I get it. It's annoying to see, 6 innings against Milwaukee and no runs on the board, or really not that many innings where you're a threat, right? You're not threatening by any means. But here's reality. It doesn't fucking matter. Because it only takes one inning. It only takes one at-bat. This team is clutch. They're nails, man. They really are. So on any particular night, so what it's quiet through 5? So what it's quiet through 6? So what guys who aren't really that great might have a little bit of success throwing the ball on that given day? Whatever. Wait to see what happens in the 7th, 8th, 9th when the pressure's on. And oh, by the way, you're playing in front of this crowd. These teams don't know what this is. These teams don't get these type of atmospheres and environments when they're at home in Milwaukee. Not at this time of the year. So like, wait, what? There's people here? There's people cheering? Oh, the butt cheeks get tight because now there's actually pressure on you. And here's Nick, who's putting the ball in the outfield, going the other way with it, and another extra base hit. I just told one of our callers who was saying Nick is so ridiculous, he's so bad. I said, yo, pay attention. He had 3 extra base hits. No. 4 extra base hits in 3 games, and 3 of them were doubles. He had a home run. There's actually some sort of vibe going with Nick right now, and then he delivers a walk-off. So the guy's been doing good. Good for him, man. Good for him. And I do love that every single time we hear from him with the headset on before the daycare throws a bunch of sunflower seeds all over his face, and before they pour 5 gallons of water on his head, making sure the microphone doesn't get hit. What a savvy pro move by Nicky C, by the way. He just talks about how he's played ball a long time. He's been on a lot of different teams. There's something different here. There's something different here. And I know that feeling because I've been on a few teams throughout my hockey prime where that room hits different. Now, we didn't always end up doing it all, but we were serious and we were contending with the best teams in the league. And I don't want to put that, damn it, I'm pissed off at myself. I don't have to go there. This team is going to complete the job. Shut the fuck up, bro. Fuck off. I'm sorry. I'm not happy with myself. I had 2 cups of coffee tonight. Let's get the good vibes rolling here by listening to Tom McCarthy and the great John Kruk on the call. NBC Sports Philadelphia. I'm choking up just thinking about it because Nick Castellanos was a hero for me, and I needed this. I needed this. I wouldn't be able to fall asleep tonight if they lost 1-0, and then we had to see a game Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock be for a series or not. They already won the series. Now they're going for a sweet baby, and that allows me to put my head on my pillow while my one dog fits between me and my wife, in between our heads, in between our pillow, and then Zola takes up the entire end of the bed. And by the way, sick. You guys are sick. If there's any people out there, it's been a new debate for me recently. If you have dogs and you don't let your dog sleep in the bed with you, you're a psychopath. You're a psychopath. But anyway, let's take a listen here to NBC Sports Philadelphia. Listen to this. Listen to Destiny. It just sounds like destiny.
Line drive
Game,
to right
baby.
field. He is the hero. A one-hop off the wall. Here comes Merrifield, and the Phils will win it. In the bottom of the 10th inning, Nick Castellanos, an RBI double.
Come on, baby! Come on! Look at the way that team jumps out of that dugout with so much fire, with so much intensity. I guess Rob Thompson was asked about JT tomorrow. He said, we'll see. Yeah, I bet. I bet it's a, hey, let's see how he feels tomorrow kind of thing. Dude's getting beaten up. And guess what? You can win with Stubbies, right? Remember, a week ago, Stubbs gotta go. They gotta upgrade Stubbs. Shut up. This team just wins games. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. They've used their lefties quite a bit. I think our guys are doing okay. Well, I mean, just the fact that the starter, the way they're rocking the starter, I referenced some of the lefty relievers previously. I would have let Dahl hit, honestly. I would have let Dahl hit. Thompson said JT's one of the toughest guys I've been around. You don't say. When Kruk is comparing him to Darren Dalton, I think you know exactly. Trust me, Darren Dalton is just as beloved as any figure in this entire city. If not what, you can legitimately make the argument that he is number one. You can. No, maybe you don't personally feel that way, but if someone objectively speak or subjectively speak, whatever objectively it is, whichever way, because you can objectively and subjectively make the case. But if Darren Dalton's on your number one and toughest ever in the city of Philadelphia, and then they look at JT Realmuto and say, yeah, there's common themes here. Think about the praise that you're getting. And it makes total sense. All right, it's not as if it's a reach. No, I see it. I understand. The guy gets beaten up. He takes 5 seconds to regroup, 10 seconds to regroup, and let's go. Warrior. And then it starts. The energy starts to sink in. It forms. Dude, I was informed that this team can only beat teams that are under 500. The Milwaukee Brewers, when this series began, was 36-23. Add 2 more losses to the column, of course. Now they're 36-25. So the Phillies were participating in a 9-inning baseball game, and if it went to extras, against an opponent that was 13 games above 500, which is no joke, by the way. And watch, they're going to try and spin it. Well, the teams Milwaukee played weren't very good to try and beat down the Phils. Yeah, I'm aware. Chicago, St. Louis, the Pirates, Cincinnati. The Central's not the toughest in the world. But shut the fuck up. Just admit that the Phillies are great. We're so deep into the season now. And all you watch them do is win in so many different ways. I'm in love. All right. Let's run to the Anytime Hotline. Hear from you great people out there. Let's do it.
Hey, bros. Rowdy from Syracuse. I tell you, that is the measure of a good team. And that's finding a way to win when you're not really playing that well. The pitching was phenomenal all night, I thought. But the bats were just cold. Bohm woke it up. Casty, of course, he doubles it in, walks it off. But, I mean, what a game. What the last couple games, actually, for JT Realmuto. Just being that gold glove, rock-solid catcher behind the dish.
Roddy, I love you, bro. I love you. You are a frequent caller. I don't know if there's something in the water in Syracuse. Maybe it's a little late. Maybe somebody around you sleeping and you got to be quiet. If that's the case, I appreciate you calling in even though you got to tiptoe around it. But where's the juice, baby? Where's the juice? Think of this team. Think about what they're doing. I know it's in you, bro. All right, I wouldn't be saying it if it was just for just a random first-time, long-time guy. By the way, as if I'm knocking the first time, long time people. I'm not. I know, yo. We've been communicating back and forth on the Anytime Hotline for quite some time now. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm feeling a little bit, the offense didn't really satisfy me. The pitching did great. Kerkering once again, a couple of strikeouts. Ruiz was able to do his job, but the offense wasn't. No, come on, baby. Teams are going to go through lulls. Offenses are going to go quiet. But you're winning when your offense is going quiet and getting clutch, timely hits. That's what it's all about. The fact that you can put it together. Now, if I am going to criticize Rob here, I'm aware that at some point you have to take Sanchez out of the game. But am I the only one that when he went through 6 innings pitched of 1 earned run ball, only walked 1 batter, only allowed 4 hits? It's not as if the dude was getting barreled up, okay? So it's not as if he wasn't efficient. This dude was Mr. Efficient. He only threw 83 pitches. Sometimes I would blink and there'd be 2 outs. Seriously, before my blink, it would be the 3rd inning, 0 outs. I'd blink, it's the 3rd inning, 2 outs, and an 0-2 count. And I said, what the hell? Mr. Efficient's on the bump. That's what he does. So I'm thinking, why go to Ruiz now? And I was uncomfortable with Sir Anthony in the 10th, all right? He wasn't making me feel good. He's probably the last person I want to put on the mound when there's an automatic base runner because he's all over the map. As you saw, they got lucky that the one pitch ended up hitting the foot, because if it didn't hit the foot, now you're probably allowing a run. No, he got out of it, and it's great. And he got the pop-up. Bryce Harper was able to secure the final out to give the Phillies offense a chance to win the game. So no matter how it looked, no matter what the eye candy was or the lack thereof, the big result was 0 runs on the board for Milwaukee. You don't have to play catch-up. The pressure's not, you have to score that run from second. It's, let's go win a ball game, fellas. And I think it sort of let them settle in and just be there in the moment. But if you were, hypothetically, going to allow Sanchez at 83 pitches to get the 7th, now everybody gets pushed back 1. So maybe you don't use, because you probably would still want Matt Strahm in the position that he was in the 9th maybe. But I'm just saying, maybe Ruiz is in the 10th instead of Dominguez. And am I here to tell you that Ruiz is some no-brainer, lock, automatic, sensational beast? No, but I know that Sir Anthony's a little shaky right now, and I felt that it reminds me of, and maybe it's just PTSD, and Rob's fantastic, by the way, fantastic. This guy has a pulse on everything, so I'm just sort of nitpicking. Let that be known, that this is me being an absolute jerk-off. It reminds me of pulling Christopher Sanchez in the NLCS when you were pitching a starter. You're facing the Diamondbacks. They have a bullpen game. You yanked him way too early to put yourself at an even playing field. You had an advantage. You removed the advantage way too early and now that was the 3rd inning or so. So, I mean, it's way different circumstances in the NLCS, but it's the same principle. You didn't need to do that yet. And when you do it in the 7th, when Christopher Sanchez could have went to 7th, now you're using Ruiz early, using Kerkering early. Maybe Kerkering could be there in the 8th, and then Strahm in the 9th, and you play the long game over. And you use a bullpen piece that maybe you didn't need to utilize today, which then can help you out tomorrow if you're in a crunch. I just probably would have let Sanchez keep rocking because the ground ball's great. And it's a lot easier to do that when you have trust in your defense. And I won't do this today, but I was listening to a segment on MLB Network, and I actually have it saved in my files here. And it shows you the overall approach of the Phillies pitching, velocity-wise, what they're doing compared to the other teams, maybe why they're doing it, considering what happened in recent postseason runs. And I want to save it for a rainy day, but it is fantastic. And when I see what Sanchez does, it almost marries that point together. So I just think it's interesting. That's all. All right, let's go to Sean. What's up, Sean? What's on your mind, man?
Oh, Hunter, we got to start a candlelight vigil of prayers for JT Realmuto tonight after what that poor bastard went through. Oh, my God. His balls are ringing, let me tell you. Like I said, courageous is an understatement after you take a shot like that. I'm surprised he's still not snow angeled on the ground behind home plate. You know, they say the Phillies couldn't beat these teams that are 500 or over, but they keep, disproving that theory. Not pretty, but some of the same constants are there. I mean, contributions from some of the lesser guys. I mean, David Dahl had another nice at-bat early in the game.
Sure did.
The defense is good, and a lot of fans like to malign this bullpen, but they came through tonight. I mean, Matt Strahm, his pitching against Rhys Hoskins, I mean, this guy deserves to be on the All-Star team this year. Probably won't get there because that role is kind of an unsung, unheralded role, but he needs to be there as much as any Philly on this team. Solid win, solid series win. Let's get the sweep tomorrow before we head out to London.
I love it, man. That's right. The London stuff. I'm not even there yet, even though I should be mentally because it is a big weekend and a fun one. But let's take care of business. Now, I'm looking over here because I still have NBC Sports Philadelphia on. It's just on mute. They showed the replay of Rhys Hoskins striking out. But even when there was a fly ball to Nick Castellanos, he went all the way to the warning track, and he throws the ball properly to second base so it's first and third, and it keeps the double play potentially alive when there's only one out. Think about that. I mean, how many times have we been ripping our hair out because the team is playing dumb, stupid baseball? They don't know where to throw the ball. They look like they're 5. Now that ended up not paying off dividend. But those details do. They do. Over the long run, they do. You have to pay attention to that stuff. And Nick, I didn't know what type of defender that guy was going to be at the time of the signing in Bryce right field. And is he going to be in left? And are they going to utilize the DH and Kyle Schwarber and this and that? He solidified himself nice over there in right field, especially, after the whole debacle of is he even going to be comfortable with the new scoreboard? And that was a whole issue. And now he's starting to turn the bat around. I'm just saying, let's give Nick, you see, a little love. And you're right when you brought up Dahl. And even in that 9th inning, while I was frustrated with maybe the top of the lineup, although I tip my cap to what McGill was doing, it just seemed he had the stuff to just blow by the top of your order. Rojas gets on base. They threw over to first a couple of times because his speed is a deadly weapon, and he eventually takes off and takes second base. Now, this is your number 9, bottom of the lineup type of hitter who's getting on base and putting pressure on the opponent with essentially the game on the line for the top of your order to deliver. Unfortunately, they couldn't, but just think about that from a base level. Rojas gets on, gets a hit, takes second. Also, I believe, even though he got out of the pickle, he's throwing over to first a few times. He's throwing over to second. He's on their mind. He's on their mind. So he's causing trauma, really. He's forcing the pitcher to now focus on him instead of the hitters. Even if it's by 1%, 2%, 3%. How many times have we seen that? Pay attention to the hitter. Don't worry about him. If you take care of business at the plate, that's what you got to focus on. He's out there, moving around a little bit. All right? Dancing around a little bit. Doing a little quick footwork there. Forcing you to look over. It's important stuff. It really, really is. Let's go back to the phones.
Yo, bro, Dylan here. Listen, I'm going to be quick, man. This is for all those fans down there in Atlanta crying, bitching, and moaning. Oh, the Phillies don't play anybody. The Phillies don't play. Well, right there for you. Boom. Series win against a team that is over 500. So I'm done. I don't want to hear any more about it. We're a good team. We're doing what we should be doing and beating up on teams no matter where they are. So keep crying down in Atlanta. We're going to enjoy winning up here. Go Phils.
Absolutely, Dale. Thanks for the call, man. And I do think that's died out a tad. I referenced it earlier because I saw what the Milwaukee Brewers record was prior to the series, so I sort of had that sitting in the back of my mind. But as the Phillies just continued to do their job over the last few weeks, I do feel, and maybe I'm just removed from some Atlanta Braves people on Twitter or whatever. Maybe the social media is just not in my circle right now, and it's not on my For You page, if you will. I know that's more of a TikTok thing, but it just hasn't been circling around my particular feed. Maybe they're still talking trash. I've just removed myself from it. I don't think it's been as active as it was throughout that early stages when they were just destroying teams left and right. But if you look at 43-19, I believe most smart baseball fans, if there are smart baseball fans in Atlanta or in other parts of the country, it's enough baseball games to recognize. The New York Yankees are 43-19. Now, is the difference the fact that Baltimore's 19 games above 500 and they're in the same division? I don't know. I mean, we're sitting here with the Atlanta Braves, who are still a damn good baseball team, and they're second in our division. So how much different are the Braves and Orioles? Sure, the Orioles might be a tick better or whatever, but the sustained success of who the Atlanta Braves are. And keep in mind, Atlanta's also dealing with the injuries from Ronald Acuna Jr., from Spencer Strider, so they're dealing with a lot. Those are some two big names. Your number one guy, everyday player, your number one guy on the starting rotation. So yeah, I mean, that's a huge hit to your team. And it's not as if Ronald Acuna Jr. was being the pure form of Acuna to start this season off. But I don't know. I mean, I do think that it's fair to understand now that, all right, it's no fluke, all right? They do it in so many ways. And I think I have settled in on the whole debate. I'm not as I was on it earlier, just because, come on, dude. You know, if you got eyeballs and you got knowledge, you see what this team is capable of doing. And Mundo Sosa is stepping in for Trey Turner. They're doing this for Trey. I just brought up some of the injuries that Atlanta has to deal with, right? And credit to Atlanta, because the year Ronald Acuna Jr. went down, they ended up winning the championship. But that shows you the DNA of a team that has it. If you do lose Trey Turner, who was playing as good as any star in the league, and in Mundo Sosa, who's just a regular, solid utility player, can step in and strive. And if you lose Brandon Marsh, and now you wonder how much time do you have to filter someone in left field, and some guy, David Dahl, who once had success in this league, and then he's playing minor leagues, and he comes in and he starts smoking home runs, and could have had another one today off the bat, off the rip. I thought that shot out to center field was going to be another dinger. I stood up and started screaming. My dogs would go, I know, they looked at me with the faces, and they were saliva. They were going, they were salivating. That's not it, but they were pouting. Spit was flying all over their mouths, and their tails starting to wag because I stood up, like, ends up hitting off the wall. But this is now a minor leaguer who was once good, and they're rebuilding him a little bit and trying to tweak some things because they feel something's in there, obviously, or else he wouldn't be in this organization. He gets caught up. Now he's doing well. That's the DNA of a special unit. And right now, on a night-to-night basis, they give it to you. They give it to you on a night-to-night basis. There's nothing better. There's absolutely nothing better than this feeling. Every single day, I have to sit here and think about greatness and think about dominance. What a shame. What a damn shame that that's what I have to do. Now, Real Muto speaking now. We never feel like we're out of a game. Felt a little sore, little banged up, but nothing an ice tub won't fix. Come on, an ice tub, bro? I mean, that's where we're at here? Hey, I'll take a couple minutes in a nice ice tub. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Your wife might be worried about it. You know what I'm saying? Your wife might be worried about it. Family in mind. It's amazing. Guy's just unreal. Stat line, 1 for 4, hit by pitch tonight versus Brewers. How about almost got his head taken off This is the graphic on the bottom of the screen right now as he's getting interviewed. How about this? Almost got his head taken off, almost lost his testicle, hit by a pitch, dominating force. That's what I would have put up on the graphic. WOOOOO meant a lot for sure. They've had my back a lot of years now. Pretty cool to experience that. They were chanting JT. JT! 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 And to be honest with you, as much as we've given him credit for the best catcher in baseball, this and that, I don't know if we had a moment yet where it was like that. Where it was just that overpowering of, holy hell. We've enjoyed him doing baseball things. But to get the out at home and for the juice to rise at CBP, for strictly JT individually to chant his name out like that, maybe I'm missing one. He has been here for a little bit of time. But nothing screams at me off the top of my head a JT Realmuto fan base moment to that level. I mean, don't get me wrong. He had an inside the park home run in the playoff, but that's different from this. I'm not talking a baseball hit or a double, right? Like knocking in a run or hitting a home run. That's generic baseball stuff. And you could say tagging somebody out at home is generic, but it wasn't about the tag at home. It's the appreciation for the toughness that is what caused the chanting. And that's different than a standard baseball play, if that makes sense. So good for you, JT, because that's big. All right, everybody, thank you all so much. I love you guys to death. Appreciate the love and support. Go Fightins. Going for a sweep tomorrow, baby. Ew.